Io, and today I'll be talking about Greenwood. This is for the class Economic Conundrum taught by Baba Kessa and Mama Carolyn. And in this class, we have been talking about Black economic prowess and Black determination. In this presentation, we'll be covering the general story of Greenwood, details about the story that I didn't know, deeper understandings, which are things that I was aware of but didn't know too much about, how this story inspired me, inspiration for our people in the United States, and inspiration for our people in Tanzania. The general story of Greenwood. Greenwood, also known as Greenwood, Archer and Pine, and Black Wall Street, was located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was founded in 1906. It was one of the 50 Black towns in Oklahoma, and it was founded when Oklahoma was still considered a colony. In 1912, a white elevator operator named Sarah Page accused Dick Rowland of trying to rape her. Dick Rowland was a young Black shoe shiner who was from Greenwood. Once the Greenwood community got the information that Dick Rowland had been taken into custody, 12 armed Black men went down to the police station with the goal of protecting Dick Rowland. At this time, it was not uncommon for white mobs to come to the police stations and kill Black people who were there before they got a chance to go to trial. After many rounds of armed Black men coming to the police station and them being ordered to go back home by the police, 200 armed Black men came to the police station with the purpose of protecting Dick Rowland against this white mob that had started to form around the police station. At some point, one of the participants in the white mob tried to take one armed Black man's weapon, and the Black man shot him. And from that point on, shots rang from both sides. And the Black community in Greenwood was winning this battle until law enforcement got into planes and started to bomb the community. But if the planes were not in use, or if the planes were not used in this battle, the Black people from Greenwood would have won. Unknown details. One of the things that I didn't know about the story was who actually founded Greenwood. And that person was O.W. Gurley. He was born in Alabama on December 25th, 1867, and he died in Los Angeles, California on August 6th, 1935. He was a developer, and he was the first to arrive in what would be Greenwood. He bought 40 acres, and on those 40 acres, he built a boarding home so that Black people would have somewhere to come while they figured out their living situations. Later, he also built a grocery store on those 40 acres. He was a teacher, and he also worked at the U.S. Post Office in the area. O.W. Gurley also worked with A.J. Smitherman, who was a businessman, and J.B. Stratford, who was a journalist and an attorney. O.W. Gurley worked with J.B. Stratford to help make Black people landowners and to help them become entrepreneurs. A.J. Smitherman also worked with J.B. Stratford to create the Tulsa Star. The Tulsa Star was the first Black-owned daily newspaper in Oklahoma, and this newspaper made sure to highlight Black achievement and advocate for the justice of Black people, and also spoke out against the lynching of Black people. Deeper understanding. I was aware that there were a lot of Black-owned businesses in Greenwood, but I wasn't aware of the type of businesses that were there. Greenwood was 40 blocks long, and some of the businesses were Little Rose Beauty Salon, J.M. Key Physician, W.J. Tate Electrician. We also had cafes, restaurants, a public library, a photography studio, and we had so many businesses, and which allowed the dollar to turn over 50 to 100 times in that community. This is a visual that I found that takes you through one of the streets in Greenwood and shows you where some of the businesses were located. Inspiration for me. Knowing that we had so many successful businesses in Greenwood inspires me to create my own businesses and create them based on what my community needs. It also reminds me that the myth that Black people don't work together or don't want to work together is completely false, because if we didn't want to work together, then places like Greenwood would not exist. It also inspires me to work towards the level of self sufficiency that we had in Greenwood and the level of not needing to rely on white people that we to take care of ourselves that we had as well. Inspiration for our people in the United States. I hope that this story will inspire people to eh, be more self-sufficient or work toward being more self-sufficient by becoming entrepreneurs and working for themselves, so that whenever they have to fight oppression, they also won't be worrying about whether or not them fighting in that particular fight will cause them to lose their jobs and therefore make it harder for them to take care of themselves. I also hope that the story of Greenwood will inspire our people to work within our community towards a common goal and be clear on what that goal is so that we can accomplish it faster. And I also hope that this story will help people accomplish some personal goals that they may have. Inspiration for our people in Tanzania. Currently, there is no need for people in Tanzania to be inspired to start working for themselves or inspired to fight, but ins- there is a need for inspiration to continue to be entrepreneurs and to continue to fight. Currently, people in Tanzania are being convinced that office jobs are better than working for yourself or better than growing food and selling that food. And if that continues, then people here will be in a similar position as people in the United States right now. And if they decide to fight against some oppression, then they will have to worry about whether or not they may be fired from their jobs and may or may not and they may or may not have a different way of taking care of themselves if all of them start to go to the office jobs. An example of fighting in Tanzania that happens now are in the Maasai and Meru tribes. Recently, the Tanzanian government tried to relocate a Maasai tribe to a different piece of land that was less suitable for them and their traditions so that they could sell the land to a white hunting company, and the Maasai were very upset and they protected their land by shooting at and sometimes killing um, Tanzanian government soldiers until the Tanzanian government gave up and allowed the Maasai to stay on their land. The Meru were also in a similar situation. The government wanted to do something that the Meru people thought weren't in their best interest, and so they took machetes and cut up the tarmac road that led to that area to prevent the government from doing whatever it was that they thought would be harmful to them. I hope that the story of Greenwood will make the people here happy, proud, and excited to continue working for themselves. Sometimes when I tell a person who helps us here, his name is Babaloti, sometimes when I tell him things that I've learned in school or other places about the Black community in the United States and some of the things that we do, he seems proud and happy that we are fighting for or have fought for what we wanted and believed in, and what was in the best interest for our people. And I feel like this story could also help encourage future generations to fight against the oppression that they might face. And that's it. Thanks for watching.